Hi everyone, today I want to share this peekaboo slider card that we're going to be making at Stamp Camp on Saturday. It's a little peekaboo sliding action. You've got this slide going on, this little window, and it's really cute. It's actually quite pretty too, and I hope that the Stamp Campers enjoy it. My mock-up one here got really mangled, as you can see, so and dirty from sitting around my desk for a week. So I thought I was going to make a new one to use at Stamp Camp, and I thought since I am making a new one, I will film it. First I want to show you some of the pretty papers that we're using. This is the paper that I really wanted to use. It's just so pretty, and there's a whole paper stack. It's one of those 6x6 paper stacks, and the front, well, I guess there's not really a front or back, but the front, I'm going to call it the front, are very pretty and floral, and you've got really pretty roses. But then there's so many different patterns, really pretty. On the back, they tend to be more solid, so you've got some really nice background papers as well in some of these really pretty colors. Isn't that pretty? So it's a really beautiful paper. And the colors in the paper are the inspiration for the colors in the card. So we're going to be using Old Olive, Rich Razzleberry, and Calypso Coral. So here are the measurements for the base of the card. You need one piece of Calypso Coral cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and then you're going to score it at 5 1/2. You need another piece, 4 1/4 by 6, and you're going to score it at the 1/2 inch. And then for the inside, you need 8 1/2 by 4 1/8. That little eighth is just so there's a little frame around your card. And then you're going to score it right in half at 4 1/4. So those are your three main pieces. We're also going to use some little scraps of that pretty DSP. This is going to be in the back for the peekaboo. And I stamped Happy Birthday directly on this pattern, which is in the same paper stack. And it's just a very small pattern, and I thought it'd be easy to stamp on top. And this is just a scrap of white that I have in my scrap bag, and some more beautiful paper. Little strip. This is 1 inch by 5 1/2. Okay, so let's get going on how to put this card together. I'm going to start with this piece of Whisper White, and what I'm going to do is fold it in half, and then I'm going to use my 2-inch circle punch. Now where you want to punch it is towards the top. I'm punching through 2 layers. Let me show you how I put it in. I put it in all the way to the back, and then I lined up the edge of the Whisper White with the edge of the punch. So it's like right there. And then I'm to give myself more leverage. Normally I like to punch looking at the back, but to give myself more leverage because of the 2 layers, I'm going to go ahead and punch through that way. Okay. So I'm going to save these little circles. They'll be good for something later, I'm sure. Okay, now you're going to take this piece. This is that 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, this is the front of your card. So you need to punch a hole through that, and I want to line it up with this one. I have to open it up and line this up where you know you want it to be. I want it to be with just a little bit of the Calypso Coral showing through. Once you've got it where you want it, you're going to line up that hole. Now you do have to look at the back. And punch. There. That's the hardest part of the card right there. So it's really simple. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp once we have all of our holes where we want them to be and we know where things are going to lay out. So for the background on the front, I used some of the flowers. Now there is a stamp set that goes with this paper, and it's called Graceful Garden, and it's really pretty, and I don't happen to own it. I meant to buy it, and I just realized I don't have it, but it's a little large for what I want to do anyway. And so I looked through the catalog to see if I could find something with a small little rose. And I found Happy Birthday Gorgeous, and it's got these really gorgeous flowers. So we're going to use these on our card, and it's perfect because it has birthday sentiments, which is what I wanted to make. So this is a stamp set we're going to use to complete the card. Happy Birthday Gorgeous. Okay, so on the front of the card, I'm using just some of the, kind of creating my own background paper by using Tone on Tone Calypso Coral ink on top of Calypso Coral cardstock. And I'm using just the outline of the rose. If you notice, there's outlines and inside coloring of the flowers, and we're going to use just the outlines. Okay. Now I placed both sizes of flower and a leaf on the same block, and I'm going to stamp them all at the same time. This is just a random pattern, so you just need to every once in a while turn your block. And that way you've got a whole different variety here. There we go. And you're creating your own background. One more, and I think I'm going to do one up there. Okay, so that is the base. Next, you're just going to take this pretty strip of DSP, Designer Series paper, and put that down right there. Okay, so that is your card front. Now let's do the inside. So what's going to show on the inside, this is going to get adhered here. And then when your recipient opens it up, they'll be able to see this. So we want to decorate it a little bit. But I didn't want to go crazy because Stamp Camp, if there's too much stamping going on and a lot of waiting around. So I thought it would be simple to just put a little grouping of the flowers here and some washi tape for some added interest. See how mangled it got up? I don't know what I did. It like was laying on my desk and something fell on it. So anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and stamp. Now I wanted to take the leaf off because I don't want the leaf to be Calypso Coral on the inside, but I left these two on. And I just simply stamped them here. And then I took off the larger of the roses and just used the small one at the top. Okay, now I'm going to do that little leaf. I'm going to clean it off and use Old Olive. Okay, so here is the leaf, and I just wanted to add a couple of them, so I put one. Oh, I missed. Let's move that. See if I can line it up again. Not too bad. Got a little shadow. Don't do that. There. Now there's a little tiny, in the stamp set, there's a little tiny filler. You can use markers or you can fill it in with the filler. I'm going to go ahead and use the filler, but I want it to be lighter. So I stamped, here it is here. I've got the leaf on this side and the filler on this side, and I offset them so I can still see through the block. I'm going to press it into the ink, but I'm going to stamp off on the paper and then fill there. So stamp off. It doesn't fill the whole leaf. You've still got some showing. There. I think it's actually maybe background for these, and I thought, you know what, it's okay that there's some white showing. I like that kind of look, so I decided to use it for filler here. Okay, now we're going to use the fillers for the larger rose and the two smaller. Something I want to point out, there are little tabs so you know what side is up when you stamped, and then the inside and outside both have the same little tabs. So you can line them up and know that they'll be, you know, if you make your tab face directly up and then you make this one face directly up, you'll know they'll match up. I have to say on this one, I don't the shape is so kind of random, and I decided I didn't really even care about that. So I just stamp off, and I just stamped on top, and I don't even check to see if my tab is okay, because you can see some white, and I think that looks okay. It's kind of how the you know, the paper has bits of lights and darks and all that, and I think that the little added little bits of white are okay. And I don't like to get too crazy. Okay, so then this is just going to go on top. Oh, I forgot to stamp off. I'm making boo-boos because I'm on film. Okay, and that one's going to go there. So I meant to stamp off so that it was lighter. In fact, I think I'm going to turn this over and start again. Okay, now I'm where I want to be. Okay, so now I'm just going to add this washi tape to the bottom. It's in the... So that is the inside, like you see here. Now we're going to put it all together. Oh, actually I need to stamp on the happy birthday. So let's go ahead and get that little piece of DSP here and stamp the happy birthday. And that is in rich raspberry. Right in the center. And this is the pretty rose that I punched out from the designer series paper. Okay, so this is the back of the card, this is the front. We're going to fold on that score line. And here's the front, and this goes in the middle. So how this goes together is you're going to adhere these two pieces together. Now you want to put the glue on the back of the Whisper White, not on the Calypso Coral, because it doesn't reach the whole way. So you're going to go ahead and line up your holes. You didn't want any glue there because you want to make sure that this is open. Okay, so that is how it's glued. So did you see what I did? I put the adhesive on the back of this side and glued that on. Okay, now this piece here needs the happy birthday, because that, let's show you where we're at, shows through the window. So you want to add your glue and kind of, oops, before it's completely dry, give it a try. See if when you open this, you know, it goes behind it, and it does. Maybe I need to move it just a hair this way. There. Okay. Now we're going to add this little part here. Now this little lip is going to attach to this part of the white piece. So this half of the white piece went to the front, and this half of the white piece goes to the back. So you're going to add your adhesive right here. And again, I'm going to do it on the Whisper White, just a little bead down the side. And get it where you want it. I'm using the liquid glue so that I can kind of just jiggle it just a little bit so I know exactly where it is. And just hold for a second and you're good. Okay, now the flower in the back is the last piece. And just add a little adhesive and position it where you like it. Let's see. I wanted a little bit of this rich raspberry to show through. Okay, so there you've got your front and your inside. Now open this up, and you just want to make sure that it's adhered all the way to the end. That way when it opens and closes, that this one that slides behind doesn't get caught up. I'm going to leave it open for a second so that it dries. And then I'm just going to make this little flag here. This says, "It's your day," and I'm going to do that in rich raspberry. Now this little scrap of paper is literally from my scrap bin, and I think it's 3/4 of an inch, yes, by about 3 inches, 3.5 inches long. And I just use things straight from the scrap bin, so that one is a little bit arbitrary. And then we're going to add a little ribbon just for some pretty texture to the card. This is a new ribbon from the new annual catalog, and it is called sheer ribbon, and it's in old olive. It's really pretty. It's 1/8 sheer ribbon, and it comes in calypso coral and the fresh fig. This is rich raspberry. The fresh fig ribbon works pretty good with this too, so if you have that, you can use that one if you like that color. And it also comes in whisper white. It's really pretty. So I just used a tiny bit of it here. And I just tied a little tiny knot. Okay, and I just popped this up with some dimensionals. See, this is literally a scrap. It's got something on the back. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. It's your day, and happy birthday. Fun. I hope you like the card. You can shop for Stampin' Up! Products at my blog, bethspapercuts.com. And I hope you subscribe to my channel and watch some more. Thank you so much.